Today, it's my pleasure to be speaking with Prairie Central High School native, now University of Illinois senior, and a cyclist on a mission, Paul Leman. He's part of the Illini 4000, a student-run nonprofit organization at the U of I, which he's going to tell us all about today. Paul Leman, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, it's my pleasure. So the first obvious question, tell us, what is the Illini 4000?
Yeah, so the Illini 4000, it's a student-run nonprofit organization at the University of Illinois. Basically, they bike across America every summer, New York City to San Francisco, and their goal is to raise money and awareness for cancer and cancer research.
Okay.
And so each member is required to raise $4,000 to go on the ride. And that as a team, our fundraising goal is $150,000. So that exceeds $4,000 per rider. So $4,000 is just kind of the requirement, but our goal is more than that. So we want to raise as much money as we can for cancer research.
And how many bikers are on this team?
So this year we have 17 riders and 2 ride leaders, so 19 riders total.
Okay. And what happens if you don't reach $4,000 raised? They say sorry.
They're pretty lenient. Like, they'll work with you. They'll figure something out. But the idea is that you're raising money. The idea is not just to go on the ride; it's to raise money. So that's a pretty important part of the organization, and they want to make sure that you are reaching your fundraising goals.
Now, how do you raise that money then?
So there's a lot of different things that people do. So far, I've reached out to family and friends and gotten a lot of donations that way. So I'm super thankful to them for that. Another big part of our fundraising is businesses, reaching out to local businesses. And we do that through email mostly, or phone calls. Basically, we can offer different sponsorship levels to businesses. I think I forget what all the different levels are, but the top level is $1,000+ donation. And if they donate at that level, we actually put their logo on our jersey and on our van as we go across the country. So that's kind of just a little bonus. They get some extra publicity for their donation. So.
Okay, so where are you sitting at right now in your donations? Hopefully you don't have zero, but if you have zero, that's all right.
yeah, I'm doing pretty well, actually. I've got a little over 3,000, I think.
Oh, wow.
And I've got till May 8th to raise the money, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at, and that's all due to the generosity of the people I've asked, so
okay.
Many thanks to them.
So why did you want to do this? Have you had some personal encounter with cancer, a loved one with cancer? Are you just a cyclist and you'd like to do something good with your hobby? Why did you decide to do this Illini 4000 or become a team member and participate in this fundraiser that's also presumably pretty hard to do?
Mm-hmm. So I guess for some people it's like the cancer aspect of it, raising money for cancer is what draws them in, and the bike ride is just something they have to do to be a part of it or get to do, But for me, my initial interest was piqued at the idea of the bike ride itself. I grew up going on bike rides with my family. My dad had a little pull-behind stroller that he'd take us kids along for bike rides. And then until we graduated to the bike with training wheels, and then as we grew, we could graduate to the bigger and bigger bikes, but it was always like a thing we did as a family, was going on bike rides. And then, me and my older brother, Mylan, that's just something we love to do, is bike around town every day after school. We'd just ride around town, go on adventures. And so it kind of became a dream of ours, with me and my older brother, Mylan's, to bike across the country. We never figured that it was a realistic dream. It was always just like wouldn't that be cool, And so I think it was my sophomore year at U of I that I found out about Illini 4000, and I was like, whoa, that's incredible. Like, I could actually make this dream come true. And so for me, it was the bike ride itself that actually got me interested in it. And then the cancer was just kind of like that's cool. But it's kind of developed now to the point where, I'm still really looking forward to the bike ride and the experience that is going to be, but I'm also realizing how important cancer is and the fight against cancer and how much cancer impacts so many people. So that's, it started out as just a bike ride, but now it's something bigger. It's doing everything I can to make life a little better for people affected by cancer.
Mm-hmm. Cancer is a really interesting thing in America, across the world. Really, it's just amazing how prevalent it is, how terrible it can be, and how there is really no. It doesn't look like there's a cure that's like on the brink. Choosing insurance can be complicated and daunting. That's why you need to call Pam Deaton with Health Markets. Pam will help you with all of your insurance needs, including health, life, vision, dental, and disability insurance. She's consistently been one of Health Markets' top national agents over the years and continues to earn great reviews from her clients. If you or a loved one needs to find the right insurance plan, you're in the right hands with Pam. Call her at 309-287-2518 to see how she can help you today. If you've been living with an aching back, debilitating imbalances, or any physical discomfort and just want to get back to living a fit and happy life, look no further than InMotion Fitness Center and Outpatient Therapy at Fairview Haven in Fairbury, Illinois. Our highly skilled therapy team will guide you through proven and effective exercises to help you regain your strength, movement, and mobility, all with our renowned level of love and care. Live your best life. Call our therapy team at 815-692-6724 to find out how we can serve you today. And so it's so strange, and I feel like nobody's safe. You can be as fit as you can possibly be, and you still might get cancer. It's really the strangest thing. And I want to talk to you about the Portraits Project, which you mentioned to me in an email. Tell us, what is the Portraits Project?
Yeah, so the Portraits Project is really one of the fundamental aspects of Illini 4000. At its core, what it is a collection of stories of people who have been affected by cancer, and we collect those stories as we bike across the U.S. So anyone we meet, whether that's the people we're staying with or just people we run into at rest stops or parks or anything like that, anyone who's been affected by cancer. That could be like cancer survivors, family members or friends of cancer survivors. It could be doctors. Really just cancer, its effects are so wide and so far-reaching. Mm-hmm. And so, anyone we meet who has a story to tell, we're gonna get that story if they're willing to tell it. And then we just compile those interviews into the Portraits Project. And so basically the idea is that it can provide hope for people with similar experiences, but also just give a voice to the American cancer experience, because like you said, it's universal. It's not partial. It can affect anyone, and so just giving a voice to that, letting people tell their story, is kind of what the Portraits Project is all about.
Mm-hmm. How are you going to find these people who have or have had cancer and are willing to share their stories? Are you just going to hopefully stumble upon them?
Yeah. So obviously I haven't been on the ride yet, but
that's true. Yeah.
From what the past riders have told me is that a group of 19 college kids all dressed in matching jerseys biking attracts a lot of attention. And so a lot of times apparently we get people ask us what we're about, what we're doing. And so that gives us a really cool opportunity and good opportunity to tell them what we're about. And, a lot of times, when people find that out, they're like, oh, I have a family member who had cancer, or, I'm a doctor who treats cancer patients. And so, the idea is that they just come up naturally. We're going to meet a lot of people, and obviously not everyone is going to have a story about cancer, but, the idea is that we'll meet enough people that we will meet people with stories to tell.
Right. So you're going out with the intention of talking to people. It's not like you just get the bike ride done, keep your head down type of thing. It's like you also are making a point to speak to people. Which reminds me, where will you be? You might have touched on this already a little bit, but where will you be staying overnight? Is that pre-planned, pre-mapped out? And where will you be staying?
Yeah, so that's all planned ahead of time. So each rider is responsible for organizing or planning 3 stayovers. And so the idea for those is that they're free. Uh-huh. So like we could stay in hotels, but that obviously costs a lot of money for that many people. And the idea is that as much of the donations as possible goes toward cancer research. And so the idea is that we find, churches, community centers,
I'm sorry,
those types of things.
I keep almost laughing because why would I suspect that you didn't have that pre-planned? Like you just ride to town and you're like, where are we going to stay tonight? Hopefully somewhere.
Well, so actually the first year they did it back in 2007, they had everything planned till about Chicago, but everything west of Chicago they did not have planned.
Oh, really?
And so every day they'd like find a library or something with a computer, because this was before cell phones. So they'd find like a library with a computer to look up different places where they could stay. And then just, that day, just start calling around and, seeing if there was any places available to stay. But, today everything's planned out.
Okay.
So
interesting. Okay, a little bit of a side question here. Is this like at all, does it have Christian undertones? Because the whole idea that we're going to find a place to stay when we get there seems like a huge faith builder. Like, all right, we'll just put it in God's hands because unless it's not. But are there any Christian undertones to it all? I love pizza, especially pizza from Marchelloni's Pizza in Fairbury, Illinois. Experience Marchelloni's Pizza and their famous cheese nuggets for an amazing price when you order today. If you call them up at 815-692-4602 between 4 and 5 p.m. and order a pizza, you will get the second pizza of equal or lesser value for free. Restrictions apply. You can even pick up that order after the 4 to 5 window and still get that happy hour discount. As a pizza connoisseur myself, I will proudly say that my favorite barbecue chicken pizza comes from here, so check them out. 815-692-4602 and pick it up at 405 East Locust Street in Fairbury. They're open 7 days a week from 4 to 9 p.m. If you're a business owner who wants more business, you need a great website. It's where people first interact with your business. That's where Brand Buddy out of Pontiac, Illinois comes in. Brand Buddy makes your entire online experience a breeze. Whether it's building a fully functional and visually stunning website with custom tools and buttons, or designing sophisticated advertising campaigns, Brand Buddy is the one-stop shop for your business. At Brand Buddy, an expert developer will listen to your needs and visions before building what you need. If you want to boost business and grow your online presence, call or text Brand Buddy today at 815-743-3074.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think obviously the mission itself, at its core, I would describe it as a Christian mission. The Christian mission is to love other people, and to just to give of yourself to help other people. And I think essentially that's what we're doing. We're biking across the country to help other people in need. And so just the mission at its core, I think is very Christian. The organization itself does not have any Christian ties as far as I'm aware. But specifically about stayovers, like you're asking, we do rely heavily on churches, which I think is very interesting. I think like our team and our board of what do you call them? Like our board of officers. Essentially, we do have like a board of officers. So it's just really interesting because like we rely so heavily on churches, and I think like everyone realizes that there's generosity and kindness there, and so that's where they turn when they need something like this. Like hey, like we have 19 people with bikes and sleeping bags. Like, do you have room for us? Like, that's not something that everyone's just going to agree to. And so I think it's really telling that we turn to churches in that situation. I don't know what that's like for my other team members. Like what in their minds, like when they reach out to a church, like, I don't know. I wouldn't say they're like, we're definitely not taking advantage of them by any means, but.
So this isn't an explicitly Christian organization. However, it is founded on, just so happens to be, Christian values and Christian principles, and it incorporates and relies on a lot of those Christian biblical values and biblical principles. I just talked to a guy from Chick-fil-A yesterday, and he says, we're not like, Chick-fil-A is not a Christian organization, outwardly Christian. Its goal is not, to convert and proselytize and everything like that. however, we are built on Christian values, and that's why we're awesome. Of charity, humility, servant leadership, and everything like that. And it seems like that's kind of what the Illini 4000 is built on. It's like we are serving in order so that we can do, and we're sacrificing in order so that we can do good for other people who are in need. Like, that's biblical. And also, we're relying on churches, which is what you're supposed to do, and that's a Christian thing. And yeah, it just so happens that most good organizations like this just so happen to be parallel with Christian values and stuff. Is it on purpose? Was it designed that way? Or is it coincidence? Who knows? But we can all have our assumptions, I guess.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so what can people do, really, to help with your mission? How do they help with all this, and how do they help you even?
Yeah, so obviously our mission is to raise money for cancer research. So the biggest thing people can do is donate. There's 3 ways to do that. The first and probably the best and easiest way is through our website, Illini4000.org. If you just scroll to the bottom of the homepage, there should be a little button where you can donate. We also have Venmo and PayPal. I think our Venmo is just Illini4000, and our PayPal is treasurer@Illini4000.org. But yeah, aside from that, we're also about just spreading awareness, kind of what the Portraits Project is about, just giving the American cancer experience a voice, and spreading awareness. I kind of hinted at the history of Illini 4000. I think kind of the reason it got started is there was a student at U of I who was working in the Cancer Research Center at U of I, and he just kind of realized how underfunded cancer research was. And so that's kind of part of our mission too, is just, if we can, just helping people realize that this is something that's really important, cancer research. Like you alluded to, like there is really no cure at this point. And so everyone knows that, it would be great to find a cure, but not everyone knows that the effort to find that cure is underfunded. And so that's another thing that, people can do is just spread the word, just help people realize that, there is a huge need here, not just from the people who are dealing with cancer, but also the people who are trying to find a cure. Like they have a need too. And so that's where a lot of the money itself is going, is to those people doing cancer research.
Right. And the Illini 4000 has already donated over $1,250,000 to 10 different beneficiaries over the years. And one more time, this was founded in what year again?
2007.
2007. So in just over a decade, it's already gotten over $1 million put into these valuable cancer research centers. Do you think, and I know you're not a cancer expert or anything, in fact, you're more of the cyclist when it comes to the Illini 4000, but still, do you think, are you willing to tell me what you think here anyway, will there be a cure for cancer in the next 20 years?
I don't know. That's a really interesting question. It kind of seems like cancer is one of those things that has just been pervasive. Like, we found a vaccine or a cure for almost every other disease, it seems like. Obviously, I'm not a medical professional. That was a very blanket statement. There could very well be some chronic illness that we don't have a cure for that I'm not aware of. But I don't know. It is encouraging to see the progress that is being made just by different researchers across the country and across the world, really. As far as whether or not we'll actually find like a 100% guaranteed cure, I don't know. I really can't say. I would like to believe that we could. That would, that would change a lot of people's lives for the better. And so I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why, really. I mean, we're just two guys that have no business talking about the future of cancer research and cures for cancer, talking about exactly that. Oh, one more question. I'll put you in a hot seat. So are you a Christian?
Fairbury Furniture in Fairbury, Illinois has added over 7,000 square feet to their showroom, and that means more selection for you. Why wait for your furniture? You can buy anything on the showroom floor and take it home today. So hop in the car and take the short drive to Fairbury Furniture, where customers love their selection, pricing, and their take-it-home-today power. So many Bloomington Normal residents have made Fairbury Furniture their favorite furniture store. Just 26 minutes away in downtown downtown Fairbury.
Hurry down to Fairbury Furniture, where the furniture rocks.
I am. Yep.
Okay, right on. I was about to get a little awkward there, but no, I'm just kidding. It wouldn't be awkward at all. I shouldn't have said that. But is there any part of your Christian philosophy that pushes you to do things like this, difficult things for a good cause?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like, I'm a young guy just graduating college, and so I'm facing like a lot of big life decisions. What do I want to do with my life? And a lot of that, a lot of what's informing those decisions are where do I find purpose, and where can I spread the name of Jesus, and how can I just make an impact in the people around me? How can I, the Bible says that they will know us by our love, and so how can I be love? How can I show love? And so yeah, that doesn't look like easy things all the time. A lot of times that looks like hard things or difficult things or crazy things, biking across the country. Like, that is in my mind, that's an incredible opportunity to reach a lot of people, to share Jesus with a lot of people. And so, yeah, absolutely that, my Christian values, that is a huge thing that's driving me to do this.
That's awesome. Yep. Mother Teresa had a really good quote. It was, love, in order to be true, must cost. It's like, if you do something that shows love, but you love doing it anyway, so you're just doing it and it just so happens to make someone feel good or appreciated. Like, if I love drawing, I like to draw. And if I just draw stuff and someone's like, oh, you drew that, that's amazing. Like, oh, I feel so loved. It's like, oh, well, I was just doing my own thing. But if someone really loves when you clean up the house and you hate cleaning up the house, well, that's when it really becomes love, because it costs you. It's a sacrifice. It sucks, And if you're going to raise money for these people and it's a hard thing that you're doing, or you're raising money for cancer research, and by doing a really hard thing, well, that's love. That's the type of love that is true, according to Mother Teresa and according to me a little bit, So that's all great stuff. And as we wind down this conversation, I guess we'll just ask one more time, how can people help you? You mentioned the websites, if you could repeat those, or any other additional ways that someone could help out this cause and help you out to reach your fundraising goals. Please tell us that.
Yeah, so I guess just one more time, the 3 ways you can donate are at our website, Illini4000.org. We also have Venmo and PayPal. Our Venmo is just Illini4000, and our PayPal is treasurer@Illini4000.org. The other thing you can do is, if you have a story you want to share, you can contact us on our website. We're always looking for more stories for our Portraits Project, and just spread the word, just back to our mission of giving the American cancer experience a voice. You don't have to donate to contribute, you can give your story. That means a lot too.
There we go. Illini4000.org. Donate button down on somewhere on the page, on that homepage. Venmo at Illini4000. PayPal, treasurer at Illini4000.org. Did I get that right? The last one?
Yep, I believe so.
There you have it, and you can share your story on their website as well. Paul Leman, before we wrap this up, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I'd just like to say thanks again for having me on. This is out of my comfort zone, but it's a great thing you got going here. You reach a lot of people through what you do. I know a lot of people who are, dedicated, a dedicated audience for your show. So yeah, it's an incredible opportunity for me that you've given me, to come on your show and to share about something that I'm passionate about. So just thanks a lot for that.
Hey, the pleasure is all mine. I really appreciate those kind words. And thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to this episode of The Paul Garcia Show. That was Paul Leman with the Illini 4000. And until next episode, God bless and have a great week.